This is step one of the United Petroleum Refining Kit from Walthers. What we have here is all of the little platforms glued together. What I did was I used little cutters to cut the brass. I cut it along the narrow side first and then the wider side, and that kept it from bending as much. I went through this step by step, starting at the top. I just went on down following the directions. The first one was easy because it was just square pieces. It sort of goes from there to a bending one, and it gets more complicated. One thing to make sure of is you have the wide side at the bottom and the narrow side at the top. Make sure you bend it the right way, and it's easy enough to rebend the other way. I started off bending it around the bottle and then around the top of the lid, and that worked. The bottle worked pretty good for the big wide ones, and for the narrower ones I just used a magic marker tube to bend them around. So I'd cut out one piece of here, trim it up with a knife, cut out the pieces that go with it, and I used a rat tail file to file down the edges and make it smooth. What I did was glued it on with regular testers glue, and then went back with crazy glue and glued it with that. The testers really won't really hold the brass to the plastic. Just touch it and it just flies off. But hopefully after that the crazy glue will do its business and get it all good. The instructions say to get a piece of glass and a straight edge razor blade and cut the brass pieces off. That just didn't work at all for me. But gluing it on the glass worked, and a straight edge knife worked for scraping off the little pieces of glue, so I have a clean area to glue on so these things can move around without sticking. So that's pretty much it. The other step would be to glue all these little things on, the support things underneath. On this one diagram it shows it correctly, and on all the other ones the little supports are actually upside down. On here it's right because it's upside down, but it should have flipped all these other little triangles. What I'm going to do is step 4 is to attach all these things. I'm going to test fit them each time and then probably glue the little supports either at the same time I glue it or just right before it, because at this point I don't really know what's going on, so I don't want it to get so much stuff in here that's glued together that won't fit once you try and get it on this little tube here. So the next step is to glue all the little pipes, glue the other pipes together, these long pipes together, and put some of the little piping into it. Then do this and do that. I've already went ahead and painted the long tubes white just to add a little bit of contrast to this whole model. I'm thinking I'm going to leave the brass unpainted, even though it's shiny and all. I think I'll give it some more contrast, and we'll just have it be that Catholic lips to the rail symptom on that. So that's pretty much it for this. I got them glued together, and then the next step is to glue all these pieces onto the base. From here, it's stacking things onto the base and gluing them together. So here we go.